Back in my day, you met somebody, they courted you, they took you on dates, they treated you nicely, they bought you gifts, uh, very respectful. And I think these days, especially with um, app dating and not necessarily meeting someone in person, people are just clicking on what looks good, what looks good, what looks good. And you don't really know until you meet somebody um, if they're a good person, if they have the qualities that are important to you.
So at first I thought you were trying to tell me that the women nowadays are smarter,
In
but
a
then
way,
you,
well, yeah, in a way they are. In a way they are. But I also think that's why so many of them stay single or can't maintain a relationship. Uh, they expect so much. And honestly, it's got to be give and take in a relationship. The woman can't pull all the weight and do all the giving. I tended to do that a lot. And then when I got to the point to where I was just exhausted and the arguing just made me tired and I wasn't getting back what I needed, my needs weren't being met, that's when I would just be ready to walk away from it. I didn't care if I lost a house. I didn't care what I lost. I wanted to be free and away from that stress. At this time in my life, I do like being single. I do like living alone. I like just about everything about it, with the exception of sometimes I want companionship. And I mean, it's easy for a woman to get companionship, well, company.
you
It
want
may not
the right kind of companionship.
right kind of companionship. There's got to be some respect involved. There's got to be some care involved, some affection involved. And, a lot of men are primarily, they focus so much on the looks and what they can get and the sex. I mean, the old saying is women give sex to get love, and men give love to get sex. And that's pretty much the way it is, honestly.
But women, well, not all women, but women want it too. They just don't want that to be the main
They
focal
don't,
point.
they don't want it to be the main focal point, no. Yeah, women enjoy sex. Some do, some don't. There's more out there that don't. You'd be surprised. But, that can't be what it's all about. I mean, it can be for a time, until that gets old. And then they're looking for something new, somebody new, a new spark. Or they realize what they had isn't going to turn into anything more than what it is.
That's
And
interesting that you brought that up because I wasn't planning to talk about this, but in my book, Love, Lust, or Bust, I talk about a lot of things that men do that women kind of interpret that as being, oh, he just wants sex, he just wants to get in my pants. But that's not necessarily always the case because a guy wants to probably get in the pants of the person he wants to marry. So he could really like her or believe she's relationship material and still do the exact same thing or say the exact same thing.
okay,
You
well,
understand? You understand what I'm saying?
I do. And
So
I
I think
don't doubt that there are men out there that do want to be loved and cared for and that they are looking for someone special and a relationship. Uh, sometimes you just have to go through a whole lot of people to find that.
Yeah, I guess what I was saying, because you were talking about dating apps, is two people could be talking. A man could say something, or about sex. She thinks that's all he wants, so now she's either going to block him or say she's going
Yeah.
to move on. But that may not have necessarily been the case. He may have been interested in her, possibly. I mean, we're talking
Yeah.
about the very initial stages where you really don't know what somebody wants. But a
Yeah.
lot of times, the woman will think he wants something. Oh, I mean,
Well,
only sex. You
if
know what I'm saying?
if the man leads with that, that's a good indication. If they're smart enough to have a normal conversation and show interest in the person, uh, rather than just lead with something sexual, that's different. But if you lead with something sexual, of course that's what we're going to think. We're going to think, oh, he doesn't care anything about me, my mind, what I do, who I am, what I like. He just wants sex. And that is a turnoff.
And when you say lead, you mean the very first thing he says, or in the first conversation?
In the first conversation, or in some instances, the very first thing they say. Yeah. I mean,
Okay, I can understand the first thing, but the
yeah.
first conversation, and so so you're telling me two people who live far apart, let's say same city, but we got a hour and a half drive, and they say we're going to meet in the middle. So 45 minutes, they're going to meet, and the guy makes a joke. Well, we could always get a hotel. You're saying he just wants sex.
Well,
That's the first conversation.
if that's all I'm looking for, then I'd say, okay, fine, let's do it. And I'd go into it thinking that's where I'm going to wind up at the end of the night.
No, but I'm asking you, are you saying that's definitely what he wants?
Well, that's what I think he wants, yes. And
And
if that's what
I'm saying a guy can make that same joke with someone he's not in love yet, but he is totally interested in, and thinks she's the most beautiful person he's ever seen, and could still say we could always get a hotel, jokingly.
I guess, but I don't really know if that's the kind of person I want to be with.
That's fair.
I just don't. I would
That's
rather
fair.
that.
But I'm telling you, I think most guys could make that joke. Now, if they think they're going to get slapped or something, no. But
No.
they would want to. And that's another reason I also say in the book, guys aren't really free to say what they're thinking, or with how they feel, because they are thinking that in a jokingly way. Even if they're thinking, man, this could be my next wife, he could still be thinking about her physically and want to make that joke. Now, he may not make it. You're right. He may not make that joke, but he definitely wants to. Even if he thinks, man, I may have met the woman of my dreams, but the woman of his dreams is he probably thinks is sexy. You see what I'm
Okay.
saying?
Well, let me ask you a question as a man. So, say you're communicating with this girl, y'all meet in the middle, you make that joke, and you have dinner, and the conversation's flowing nicely, and you're attracted to one another, and the woman decides, okay, yeah, let's get a room. Are you still going to want to be with her? Are you still going to respect her? Or is that just a hit and quit kind of deal?
Now you're talking about me personally.
Well, you personally, but I mean, you are a man. So,
From the research I did with the book, most men don't care anymore.
really,
Maybe at some point they did, and there are men who do. But from I was in some chat rooms. I was on some Facebook pages, relationship pages for a while, and I heard different, opinions from men. And from what I gather, most men don't care. It's going to be how she is with him.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, if he finds out some past history he doesn't want to hear about, well, we all have his history, especially the older we get. We're not talking about some 25-year-old.
Right.
So of course, anybody, 40 and up, they're going to have a history. So,
Right.
then they're not
Yeah.
unlikely to be a virgin.
Yeah. It's not.
But you're asking me if she sleeps with, because there's a whole chapter in the book about sleeping on the first date, and most men don't care, and a lot of them want to. There's a lot of people there's a lot of men and women who have sex on the first date or second or third date and end up getting married.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I know that.
And so,
Experience.
I'm sorry, what?
I know that from experience. That does happen.
Yeah. I know some people who I won't say, but it did definitely happen. So me personally, am I going to lose respect? No. One has nothing to do with the other for me.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with it. Actually, if I like her, I'm more likely to like her.
Yeah.
Than if she acts all, oh, don't touch me.
Yeah.
I
do,
especially at this age, because for me, then I kind of get a feel for how she's going to be down the road. Now that may not be true, but a lot of men are weary at this age as they get older, because maybe their past history, maybe their wives weren't a certain way. Everybody's different. Everybody has their past is different. Some had great sexual relationships, some had bad ones. So everybody is different. But the ones who maybe didn't, that could be a red flag, even though it is first or second date. Still, I'm just saying, but that could help the woman's case. Are you following me?
I do understand what you're saying. Yes.
He might be thinking, oh, this is my kind of woman. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and I believe you, because if it's meant to happen, it's going to happen irregardless of if you play games, if you hold out, if you don't hold out. If it's meant to happen, it's going to happen. So I do agree with that comment as well. It just all depends, I think, on the two people.
Now, I'm not saying there aren't players and there aren't guys who, with that particular woman, not all of them, because I say every case is different. He might only be interested in sex with this woman,
mm-hmm.
but other women he may be looking to marry. And so, yes, he may sleep with her knowing this is not going anywhere, but that doesn't necessarily mean he's not looking for a relationship. As I say in the book, that just means he's not looking for a relationship with her. But at the same time, it's possible for him to be looking for a relationship with her and still want to sleep with her.
Yeah. And I agree with what you said. I can see your point. I can see that.
So yeah, that's the anyway. So you're on dating apps. How's that going? How's dating apps?
Dating. Well, let me say one thing on the last. You have to understand, women of my generation, we were brought up a certain way and taught a certain. Things weren't as free as it is now, per se. We were just, we had respect for our parents and we had morals, and we just did things a certain way. And I think it changed the world. As far as dating apps, there's certain dating apps where people go just to hook up. That's the purpose of it, just to hook up, and they know where to go. I mean, everybody needs somebody, and of course, everybody wants to have.
That's the one you're on?
No, I'm not on that. No, I don't even know which one it is, but
I'm just playing with
it. No, when I'm on, well, see, and that's it as well. And